service has been temporarily disconnected.
Psst. Hey, Megan. You need those pills to help you feel better. Treacherous Tony can help you.
Megan, no! Don't listen to him! It's dangerous!
Oh, no.
Hey there, sweetheart. Looking for something special?
I've got this strange feeling something's not right. Captain Chaos, come on. We need to go investigate.
Investigate? But I just bought a new yo-yo.
Oh my goodness. I just don't get it. Hold it right there, Treacherous Tony. We know what you're up to.
And we won't let you harm innocent people.
You can't stop me. I've got connections.
We're not afraid of your connections, Tony. We're here to protect the community.
And make sure Megan gets the help she needs legally.
Thank you, officers.
You are absolutely welcome, Megan. Remember, folks, there's legal ways to get the help that you need. Don't let anyone take advantage of you.
And if you ever need a helping hand, Sergeant Be Safe and Captain Chaos are here to save the day.
And that's your tip of the day to get you on your way.
Welcome to Black and Blue, the podcast that's just for you. We bring solutions to everyday problems. We are here to humanize the badge. By interviewing first responders and discussing their trainings, experiences, and publications. Black and Blue airs weekly at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in.
Let's go start the show.
Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Black and Blue, the podcast that's just for you. I am your host, Coach Clee. I'm your motivational speaker, your empowerment coach, your author, and your favorite baker's favorite baker. Welcome to Black and Blue. This is the podcast that airs weekly at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And when we go live with a special guest. Today's going to be a little different. However, the special guests, they're in law enforcement or they're a first responder, and we discuss their trainings, their publications, or their experiences, whether they're rookie, whether they're seasoned, or retirees, and we have a lot of fun doing it. So we're streaming on 5 different platforms right now. You know, we're on 2 on YouTube, we're on 2 on Facebook, and 1 on LinkedIn. So since we're streaming on 5 different platforms, I can't see who's all on here. So if you want to shout out, make sure you put your name and where you're from in the comment section. I'll give you the shout out that you're looking for. If you have a question or comment, make sure you put that in the comment section as well, and we'll address that as soon as possible. Normally, we go live with a person who's backstage, an active guest who's backstage, and it's live, it's unedited. We go with the flow, and we have those questions ready to go. Today is going to be a little different. If you saw the stream with Chief Jason Armstrong, this is going to be a lot similar to, we did that back in June, where it's going to be a recap. I actually got to go face-to-face with and meet Tom Rizzo, and he's a very electrifying and fun person, and we're going to go ahead and recap that, see what's going on with him, and then we got a brief interview after all of that's going on. So hopefully we got a nice lineup for you. It's going to be a bunch of videos, it's going to be a bunch of conversation. Make sure you guys stay tuned, get your questions ready. Intro's a little different. I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys are going to be in tuned with it. Of course, a bunch of different things are going on. We got One Way Publishing. One Way Publishing is the sponsor for Sergeant Be Safe. We're going to play the latest Sergeant Be Safe cartoons as well. The sponsor for Sergeant Be Safe. So if you're looking to do a voiceover, reach out to workwithlee.com and you can do a voiceover. Also, Sergeant Be Safe has his own YouTube channel, so make sure you like and subscribe to that. Hit the like button anyway, because likes are free and those subscriptions are even better. So make sure you guys do that, okay? Because we want to keep the algorithm going. We want to keep this channel going strong. We came off of a strong interview with Chief Darrell Lowe out in the Redmond Police Department out in Seattle, Washington last week, and we're following up with this one. I had some training last week. Got to meet Tom, like I said. It's a bunch of good things going on. One Way Publishing is also the platform that the sponsor that publishes Black and Blue. It's a publishing company. 5 books that I wrote are behind me. A couple of their clients are behind me as well. A couple of the clients are coming out. We got a nice lineup getting ready to hit the streets relatively soon. We'll give you an update on that. Workwithlee.com is for One Way Publishing. One Way Publishing, they can turn a mere thought into a book that's bought. So if you ever wanted to write a fiction, nonfiction, cookbook, a children's book, whatever you wanted to do, One Way Publishing is your platform. Here, I'll let this video explain it better than I can.
Publishing. Have you ever wanted to explain something, tell a story, or leave a piece of you behind? Have you ever wanted to write your own book, but not specifically know how to do it? Well, get ready. One Way Publishing's here. We can turn a mere thought into a book that's bought. People need to learn from you. They need to hear that story. Kids need to read that book. Imagine if you wrote your own children's book and get to read it to your kids. Here at One Way Publishing, we can get your fiction, nonfiction, fantasy, instructional, what have you, done. All at a reasonable price and definitely a reasonable time frame. And if you don't believe me, ask Sergeant Be Safe. He's working on his right now. He's definitely writing the best chapter of his life. Make sure you check out his cartoon skits that air on the podcast Black and Blue.
As Sergeant Be Safe said, that's your tip of the day to get you on your way.
And that's One Way Publishing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's not in the comment section. I'll make sure it's there. It's in the description box below, and you see the website scrolling below. And speaking of books, I featured it during the intro here. Tom Rizzo's book, Copikaze. It's a great read. It's a great instructional read. At this last training last Wednesday, I got to get mine signed. Can you see it? I know the camera's it's a little blurry. You may not be able to see it. And also, I got on the you guys see the money dance right here, right? His coin. It's a nice size coin too. Got that on there. Any of you followed the old lab? You're in the lab with Coach Clee. you're in the live, go ahead, get your pen and your pad. That's the money dance symbol, how we always ended the lives. That's one that got that statuette for that. All right, ladies, let me see if I can get these on here, a better copy. There we go. Yep, that's the book Copikaze right there. And that's the coin with the money dance statuette right there. All right, make sure you guys check that out. I went to this training on resiliency and leadership that he put on. He's very electrifying. It was a lot of fun. It was a one-day training. It was nice to actually meet him in person, to see him do his thing. Learned a lot of things. I got to reiterate a lot of things that I already knew just from reading his book and just from the original interview that we had. And we're going to air a clip of that momentarily. He's wonderful. Let's get right into the intro. He's a captain of investigation with his current department and the division commander. He's been a police officer since 2001. He's an adjunct professor in colleges. He's also the author of Copikaze, which I just showed you. He's a consultant. He's the owner of IVORY TOWER, his business, and he does the training. That's the training that I went to last Wednesday. He talks about leadership and resiliency. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to, after this cartoon here, we're going to jump right into the original, some follow-up interviews and some things with Tom Rizzo. Stand by.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
Jump too hard, don't stand too close.
Hello, Sergeant Be Safe, Captain Chaos. I'm your new district attorney, Justin Case.
Hello, Justin Case. Nice to meet you.
Yes, it's a pleasure. I'm glad we're all on the same team.
Yes, locking up bad guys. Let's go inside the courthouse and see the judge. We have bad guys to put away.
You are absolutely right. Let's go inside and get to work.
All rise. I am the Honorable Judge Mint.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Attorneys, present your closing arguments.
I'm a defense attorney scot-free, and my guys didn't do it.
The proof has been laid out, Judge. Sergeant Be Safe and Captain Chaos caught these guys red-handed.
What you mean red-handed? Order in the court.
I find these three guilty on all counts.
Ooh.
Well, I'm out of here.
I'm innocent. I didn't
What do
sell
you mean
crap.
guilty? I don't hack.
Good work.
Yes, job well done, team. I just want to say good job to our brand new district attorney, Justin Case. And from me and Captain Chaos, that's your tip of the day to get you on your way.
All right, and at the end, make sure you let me know which one of the Sergeant Be Safe of the newer ones that's your favorite one. All right, they're going to be up on the YouTube page later on sometime this week. But without further ado, most of you guys are here, we're going to jump right into these interviews and discuss some things with Tom Rizzo, or with these interviews that he posted. First and foremost, we're going to play this one right here. Stand by. and that's just the intro. Certain things to come. The interview that we had, it was very electrifying. Like I said, intro of his book, of his coin, give you a little insight. But we're going to jump right into the intro that the short cap of the last interview we had, just to give you a quick reminder. It's not too long. In a professional manner, and once it's done, that the public can't deal with that situation until you get there. Once it's done, then it's over with.
It's that famous quote, right? Those that I fight, I don't have to hate, and those that I serve, I don't have to love. I just do it in the middle.
It's on Amazon, Copikaze. Make sure you guys get your copy. But what inspired you to write this book?
Real simple. A lesson learned should be a lesson shared. And it's literally, as cliche as it sounds, it's literally, what I wish somebody had told me then. It's not a love affair with policing. Obviously, it's geared toward helping police officers, to manage, like I said, and the trajectory of the career. But it's also meant more for the loved ones. You know how sometimes you want to get that message to your loved ones, and there's that disconnect. But it takes that same message, but for an outside source to deliver it. So I figured if I could help with the loved ones, and then ironically, and I've taken heat for this, to appeal to the opposition, not to get them to start flying a blue line flag, but to just maybe hear it, especially from. I am of rank, so I'm not going to give it to you while we do it perfect all the time. But maybe, just maybe, to offer that insight as to this is how, why, what. And I figured if I could do that, then maybe I left my thumbprint on it. There's so many of us out there. I'm not special because I wrote a book. There's so many of us out there that have a story to tell, but we're minimized to that one time I was chasing that criminal. There's so much more to us, bro.
Yeah. With the newer generation of law enforcement coming in, what do you tell them?
Please tattoo it on your heart that you work for yourself. You work with ABC Police Department.
Oh, wow.
And the reason why because if you do it that way, then you're subscribing to your own personal values, your resiliency, your work ethic, your work attitude, your self-discipline. There's going to come times of tranquility where things are going great. I mean, you can't miss. Every shot you throw up goes in the basket. And then there's going to come times that you're going to feel like no matter what you do, it's raining above your head. Yeah. So the only way to navigate that is not to point the fingers outward and blame. Well, he said, well, she said, well, he did, well, she did. Look to within, go back to your source, and go back to the fact that you work for your.
All right, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. We got kicked off there, and it messed up everything else. But we're going to jump right back into it. StreamYard likes to do funny things. I'm going to get right back into that same. Let me see if I can find it here. There we go. Skip through it. Get to that end point. Reason in a professional manner, and once it's done, that the public can't deal with that situation until you get there.
Raining above your head. Yeah. So the only way to navigate that is not to point the fingers outward and blame. Well, he said, well, she said, well, he did, well, she did. Look to within, go back to your source, and go back to.
Don't know what's going on there. I'm glad it's happening when we're recording and not with a special guest. Keep getting kicked off. I'm not going to play that one again. That was pretty much to the end of that video, and there's no need to piggyback on that. I mean, it was pretty self-explanatory. And individuals who are in law enforcement or a first responder can hone in on that and understand it exactly what he's saying. You work for yourself. You work with whatever department, whether you're seasoned, rookie, or retiree. If you're brand new in this, he discusses in his trainings, and I suggest the website's scrolling below. If you have the opportunity to make one of his trainings, I highly suggest doing so, because he tells you no matter what level you're at, the top of the top or the low of the low, with every kind of agency that you're working for, you are impactful, and that communication is cyclic, and it needs to continue to keep going on. All right. See if we can get this one going, this next video going without it interrupting. Which one is this one? see. This messed up the whole lineup. But things happen. Got to be able to. Got to be able to march forth.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
Jump too hard, don't stand too close.
Hello, Sergeant Be Safe, Captain Chaos. I'm your new district attorney, Justin Case.
Hello, Justin Case. Nice to meet you.
Yes, it's a pleasure. I'm glad we're all on the same team.
Yes, locking up bad guys. Let's go inside the courthouse and see the judge. We have bad guys to put away.
You are absolutely right.
Your Honor, we have undeniable evidence that Chance Wilder attempted to hack into multiple bank accounts and steal money. We request the maximum penalty.
That's right, Your Honor. Chance Wilder is a menace to society, and we must put an end to his hacking shenanigans.
Objection, Your Honor. My client is innocent until proven guilty. We believe there's been a misunderstanding. Chance Wilder is a misunderstood genius, not a criminal.
Order in the court. Let's hear the defense's case.
Your Honor, I present to you Chance Wilder's latest creation, the Hacker Helper 3000. This incredible software was designed to protect innocent people from cyber threats. Chance's intentions were pure.
Objection, Your Honor. This is just a ploy to distract us from the real issues at hand.
Indeed, Your Honor. We even have evidence of Chance Wilder's hacking attempts. He's gone so far to have left a digital signature saying, "Catch me if you can."
Chance Wilder, I've heard both sides of the story. Hacking is illegal. Since you like to take wild chances, I sentence you to community service, where you use your skills for good, helping organizations protect themselves from cyber threats.
Oh man, no money and community service?
Shut up and take the deal.
Well, there's another good job done by our district attorney, Justin Case.
It was a team effort.
And there you go, folks. Justice was brought to Chance Wilder, but I'm pretty sure he'll be up to his shenanigans again. So tune in, and that's your tip of the day to get you on your way.
So I don't know what's going on with the stream, but it looks like we have a good connection now. Hopefully things will continue on moving forward. This next video right here, viewer discretion advised, is one of the videos that he had. I got his permission to show this video. I find it very interesting. It's very, listening to it makes you understand the type of things that first responders and law enforcement officers go through daily throughout the course of their career, seeing it all firsthand and understanding how it affects you and how we affect each other once and for all. And this kind of gives you an idea on what his trainings are about. He uses it as an intro. So let me get this out here, and we will play the video right after.
Fires, fights, shootings. It's the vicious cycle of violence people in Venice have to deal with.
Those who fight monsters inevitably change. Because of all that they see and do, they lose their innocence and a piece of their humanity with it. If they want to survive, they begin to adopt some of the same characteristics as the monsters they fight. It is necessary. They become capable of rage and extreme violence. There is a fundamental difference, however. You see, they keep those monster tendencies locked away in a cage, deep inside. That monster is only allowed out to protect others, to accomplish the mission, to get the job done, not for the perverse pleasure that the monsters feel and harm others. In fact, those monster tendencies cause damage. Guilt, isolation, depression, PTSD. There is a cost for visiting violence on others when you are not a monster. Those who do so know one thing. The cost inflicted upon society as a whole is far greater without those who fight monsters. That is why we are willing to make that horrible sacrifice so others may live peaceably. Before you judge one of us, remember this. We witness things that humans aren't meant to see, and we see them repeatedly. We perform the duties that you feel are beneath you. We solve your problems, often by visiting violence upon others. We run towards the things that you run away from. We go out to fight what you fear. We stand between you and the monsters that want to damage you. You want to pretend that they don't exist, but we know better. The current political climate holds that there is nothing worth fighting for. Submission is the popular mantra. Warriors are decried, denigrated, and cast as morally inferior. We know how childish, how asinine, and how cowardly that mindset is. There are things worth fighting and dying for. We know that not every problem can be solved through rational discourse, that some problems can only be solved through the application of force and violence. While we do prefer the former, we are perfectly capable of the latter. We believe that fighting what others fear is honorable, noble, and just. They're willing to pay that price for that deeply held belief. Why? For us. It isn't a choice. It is what we are. We are simply built for it.
And then seeing that, I mean, you just want to get right into the training, and he jumps right into the training from there, and it's nonstop all day long. Get a couple breaks in between, and it's a great training. I suggest if he comes to your state, I highly suggest checking out the website and making one of his trainings, because it's very life changing. It'll enhance your performance for yourself and for your agency. But we're going to jump right into this interview that you guys are long waiting for. Let me see right here. Stand by here. And while we're doing that, we'll bring this up here.
Captain Chaos, did you mess up another report again?
Sorry, Sergeant Be Safe. I'll try to be more, careful.
What in the world was that? Whoa, look out the window, Captain Chaos. There's a real live superhero.
We have to meet them, Sergeant Be Safe. Let's go!
There's Supercrime Buster to the rescue.
Hey, there's Super Crime Buster! Woohoo! Hey, you're the greatest, Super Crime Buster. Yeah, we know Super Crime Buster's out there. We're actually on the way, but we keep getting phone calls. Excuse me, Super Crime Buster. I'm Sergeant Be Safe, and this is my partner, Captain Chaos. We'd like to thank you for your incredible bravery.
Yeah, you're amazing. We're big fans.
Wait, you are the police officers, but not the superheroes?
No, we're just ordinary officers doing our duty.
But we may not have superpowers, but we're heroes in our own way.
You're right! The heroes don't always wear capes or possess superhuman abilities. It's the everyday heroes like you who make a difference.
Thank you, Super Crime Buster, for that reminder. You are absolutely 100% correct. To all the first responders and law enforcement officers, take it from me and Captain Chaos. We applaud you. We know you do a thankless job and are highly needed. You are a superhero in your own right. Keep up the good work in these perilous times because you are needed. Wouldn't you agree, Kraken? And that's your tip of the day to get you on your way. All right. What can go wrong will go wrong, won't it? Today's that day, isn't it? I know why. And I'll explain at the end. Yeah. There we go. Here we go.
Welcome to Black and Blue, the podcast that's just for you. We bring solutions to everyday problems. We are here to humanize the badge. By interviewing first responders and discussing their trainings, experiences, and publications. Black and Blue airs weekly at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back. I'm sitting here with Tom Rizzo, former guest on the show, talking about training and retention. Training and retention as far as first responders and LEO. I know we just got done doing your training session, quite energetic, a lot of fun watching you and watching the slides. Thank you very much for doing this interview. But can you give us a brief synopsis on your perspective on training and retention as far as the world involved with law enforcement today?
So I think, first of all, thank you for coming. I really appreciate the support. I love the way that we mutually support each other, and I wish we would do more of that. The training and retention is very simple with me. I think that we've added so much to the requirement that it's almost to professionalize it. We've always argued, is this a profession? I say, well, now I think it certainly is. But look at how many certifications, the training requirements, it's just more and more and more onto the plate. So I think, you have to match that with something if you want the retention to remain, and then have the retention serve as your best recruiters and go out there and recruit like-minded people like we discussed today with the same sense of values to join the organization so that we keep it staffed accordingly. So I think that the more we add to the plate, it can't just be the plate remains the same size with more substance on it. We have to do something to get creative in terms of specialized expertise I specialize in this, you specialize in that, and then we train accordingly. The broad brush training and just added requirements that's just blindly assigned to police departments now that from top to bottom all have to do, I think is a system that's almost inevitably going to fail, and people are going to walk away from it instead of be attracted to it.
Gotcha. Thank you. And I know you talked about leadership as far as just a patrolman or all the way up to the chief. And finding, I think you explained it very eloquently on how working in the middle, actually the patrol guys being able to talk to the higher ups on what's realistic and what's fantasy, and as far as the chiefs or the admin coming down and actually understanding, yes, this is myth, this is legend, this will work, this will not. What are some of your perspectives on that?
I just think that communication's free, it's readily available, you don't need bigger budgets, you don't need more people. And I think that we often allow communication channels to be opened to outsiders, which is important too for transparency, but it shouldn't be at the cost of the communication suffering within our buildings. Who better than to tell you and get a good climate gauge as to what's going on the streets of your jurisdiction than those that are out there on the streets of your jurisdiction? And I understand why we're reluctant sometimes to field those messages, because they're based in cynical, responses, and some people that are unhappy. I understand that, but nonetheless, it's still information, and all information is valuable. So when we field all information and we put it into our crock pot and we cook it up, we kind of get some pretty accurate answers as to what we need to do, what we need to improve upon, or what we need to continue doing that is working.
Perfect. And I have nothing else. Any final thoughts?
Just the fact that we support each other, and I want to set that example that you see us and we're supporting each other. We're out there trying. Why? Because you recognize I'm trying to do something good. I recognize you're doing something good. And I think if we were to spread that type of good virus with each other, I think that we could actually make, systemic change in the industry, and it could be better to attract more people to it.
Good. Thank you very much, sir. And that was it, barring all the technical difficulty. Thank you, Tom Rizzo, for the original interview, the putting on that training, and then the interview, the follow-up interview. You didn't have to do that. I appreciate that. You guys, make sure you check his website out. Make sure you check his trainings out. Read his book. Go to Amazon, get your own copy. It's very informative. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everything that you do for the community, and I appreciate everything that you've done for me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, go ahead. Got a few more. For those of you who want to stick around, I'll explain some upcoming things that are going on. Want to give a shout out to, again, Darren Birch, former guest on the show. He sent me copy 2 and copy 3 of Twisted and True. He was on the show maybe 2-3 weeks ago. He was a lot of fun to have on his show. He's got his podcast going. And he's got a variation of the podcast that's going to be going on relatively soon. So check him out. He's got some eerie stories that he wants to put out there for Halloween, but I don't want to give away too much because I know he's got a lot of things going on. This community, this podcast is a lot of fun. A lot of projects are coming down the pipeline. I know you guys already know, working on one book right now. It has it's a highlighting book that former guests on the show, those who said yes, some who are already willing and have their own publications out, or will be in the book, highlighting book, kind of like how the lab was. For those of you that remember, it'll be a compilation of anyone who's been on the show, whether they're first responders or they're in law enforcement, or their training experiences and publications, and a synopsis on what they've done and where they seem to be going. All right. Another Sergeant Be Safe, not the cartoon book, the children's book is on the horizon too. That's been a huge setback. I don't want to get into that. There's some things going on in the background. So that's been stymied for a few. It's been stymied, but it hasn't been stopped. Those two are in the works. What is in the works now is very first and foremost, we talk about it all the time. You see it in life, like no one's safe. You see it in law enforcement, because we'll talk about it more on a segued platform on law enforcement and divorce. And you guys wish me luck. I go to the family court again for round. I don't know which round it is. That's how many it's been going on for years on top of years. For another what's it called? Another hearing or another sit in front of them and be treated like the common criminal is basically what it is. You get talked down to, you get treated very lowly, in a court system that is not readily fair, in my personal opinion. We're going to be going on through that. That's going to be going on sometime tomorrow morning. Wish me luck, you guys. Soon it'll hopefully be over. But with this experience, it gained a lot of knowledge, gained a lot of experience. I know a lot of first responders go through this. And don't know what to expect. Be prepared if you have to go through any kind of child custody, any family court, any kind of divorce. For one, that be prepared to be alone. Be prepared to not have really anyone not having your back or understanding what you're going through. You don't understand it until you go through it, and when you go through it, it changes you. It turns you into a better, different person. It's part of the reason why I do the podcasting. One thing is to get away. You know, you got work, then you got life, and this is a lot of fun. It's a segue, but it takes you away from the actual norm. I'm going to talk about chapter book that breaks it down individually on experiences, on things to do, things not to do. We could go on and on. I'm going off the top of my head right now. We could go on and on about so many different things that's not going to make sense, that's not going to seem fair at all. And then you find out you're paying money into a pot or a corporation or attorney fees that you don't see the results initially. You're paying here, you're paying there, when all this money could be going to someplace, in my opinion, better, which is the child themselves. But that's neither here nor there. That's going to be coming down the pipeline as well. Not to get all doomy and gloomy on you, but there's so many different things that I would have done differently had I known, but I didn't know. I still don't know. Just be prepared. Be prepared. If you have those questions, get those questions ready. We're going to go down that road and get that information out there. Also, you guys saw the Sergeant Be Safe. You got to get this one here. This one, yes, back to school. Stand by. Here goes Sergeant Be Safe for number 5.
Settle down, class.
Sergeant Be Safe and Captain Chaos, you're here! Hooray!
I'm just here to educate and keep people safe. Hello, Maya. We heard that there were some safety concerns in this classroom.
And I thought it would be a great chance to showcase my superhero skills.
Thank you for joining us, Sergeant Be Safe and Captain Chaos. We've been discussing school safety and the importance of education.
Absolutely, Miss Gaynor. Safety and education go hand in hand. Let's start by talking about school safety.
And remember, kids, safety doesn't have to be boring. We can make it fun and exciting.
For instance, take a look at this example, Maya. We're always told to walk in the hallways and not run.
Yes, Sergeant Be Safe. We learned that running can lead to accidents.
But what if we could run safely, like superheroes? That would be awesome.
That's right, Captain Chaos. We can use our imagination, but we must always prioritize safety.
Thank you for emphasizing the importance of safety, Sergeant Be Safe and Captain Chaos. Now, let's talk about the importance of education.
Education is its own superpower, Maya. It opens the door to endless possibilities.
And with knowledge, you can conquer any challenge that comes your way.
I want to learn everything and become a superhero like you, Sergeant Be Safe and Captain Chaos.
You absolutely can, Maya. Remember, education is the key to unlocking your true potential.
And remember, even superheroes never stop learning. We're always discovering new things.
Hooray! Thank you, Sergeant Be Safe and Captain Chaos, for reminding us of the importance of safety and education.
It's our pleasure, Mrs. Gaynor. And remember, kids, stay safe, keep learning, and you too will be unstoppable.
And don't forget to have a little fun along the way.
And that's your tip of the day to get you on your way.
There you guys have it. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Coach Clea, your motivational speaker, your empowerment coach, your author, your favorite baker's favorite baker, saying thank you for tuning in to Black and Blue, where we go live weekly at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And when we go live, except for today and the time we did in June, we go live with a special guest coming next week. I don't want to tell you who he is because he's special, another electrifying guest. He's doing wonderful things in the community, so you guys have to tune in. We're going to be going live next week with, again, this is the platform for rookie, season, or retirees in law enforcement or first responders with their own trainings, experiences, and publications. So if you're looking for more information on trainings, this is your place. If you're looking for publications, this is your place. If you're looking to get in this field, this is your place. If you're looking to see what we do and how we move and how we humanize the badge, this is your podcast for you. So make sure you guys tag, like, and share, and make sure you guys hit the stream, and we're going to continue to keep moving this thing forward. All right? We appreciate you. I love you. You guys have a wonderful night. 10-4, over and out.